Night Sky with Exit Wounds by Ocean Vuong recounts the author's struggles growing up as an Asian American, as well as details of his traumatic childhood experiences. The first poem I chose to analyze was Always and Forever, and this poem in particular deals with Vuong and his father and their relationship, which after reading this poem, I can be inferred that their relationship is not very great, and Vuong does not like his father very much, or has a lot of resentment towards him. And this poem deals with Vuong's thoughts and struggles as his father gives him a gun and he doesn't know what to do with it, and he doesn't know if he should do something to his father with the gun because of the way his father has been treating him. Though not specifically said, it can be inferred that this poem takes place in the author's childhood bedroom, and we know this because in the opening lines it says, "Open this when you need me most," he said as he slipped the shoebox wrapped in duct tape beneath my bed. I believe the purpose of this poem was to make people understand his past and his tragic life and his struggles with his father, and to kind of make people realize that they're not alone and a lot of other people are struggling and are dealing with the same things that he did. I also found the structure of the poem to be very interesting. Although it's not exactly the same number of words every time, it's pretty similar. Basically, there's an opening stanza, and then there's a stanza underneath, but that stanza is heavily indented, and then after that there's a space, and then it starts all over again and it repeats down the entire poem. So there's definitely a definite structure to this poem, which I thought was interesting. From reading this poem, it can be inferred that the audience is most likely directed towards individuals who with rough pasts and with issues, particularly with their fathers, as Vuong displays his struggle with his father and his thoughts about wanting to do something bad to his father because his father was that bad. So because of that, I think it's really directed towards those who are struggling with their parents and do not have the best home lives. Reading the poem, it can be inferred that the author, Ocean Vuong, had a very bad relationship with his father growing up and was very estranged from him. And it can also be inferred that Vuong grew up in maybe a more rough area or rough neighborhood, as his father gave him a gun as a gift, and that's usually not something you do. That's not something you give to someone when you feel safe and secure. The second poem I chose to analyze is called Because It's Summer, and it details one of Vuong's romantic experiences with a stranger, and also details Vuong's thoughts and struggles as it relates to that situation. The poem takes place primarily in a park, and in particular in a baseball field behind the dugouts. I believe the purpose of this poem is to encourage others to be themselves and love who they want and not feel ashamed by any of their actions. Unlike the other poem I analyzed, this poem does not really seem to show any major constraints or any particular structures. I believe that the audience of this poem is directed towards young people, and in particular those who consider themselves to be gay, as the whole poem is about Vuong's experience kind of going behind everyone's back, sneaking around with another guy that he doesn't really know, and one of his first love experiences, and so that's why I also can think it's directed towards young people as well, because young people are having their first experiences with lovers and hookups and things like that, and so I think it can be related a lot to youth. Yeah. After reading this poem, it can be inferred that the author Ocean Vuong considers himself to be gay and had to hide the fact that he was gay from his family. That can be seen directly from the lines of the poem towards the beginning, and it says, "And you've lied about where you're going. You're supposed to be out with a woman you can't find a name for." Everything we have read in our discussions in class, I have been able to kind of gain a deeper understanding of Vuong and his poetry, as he's an Asian American, and a lot of these experiences are different from mine and are different from my experiences now and when I was growing up, and now I can kind of understand his kind of style of poetry, and from reading his poems I can connect with him more, as I know a lot of his experiences and traumas that he dealt with as a childhood, as well as kind of the way he was raised and grew up.